Hi guys, let's today use nestjs and connect to Mongo database and get and save records to our Mongo database using nestjs. So in this video, I'm not going to go with the initial setup, how to set up the workspace for nestjs, what is the folder structure and everything. I will directly start with the practical of how to connect to database and how to get and save data. As you can see, I have the Mongo database connected. I'm using Atlas cloud environment to connect to the database, and I am connected to this database with multiple collections. So I already have created model and everything for movie. As you can see, we have a movie collection here. Now I'm going to use this users, and we have name, email and password field, all are string, and obviously object ID is underscore ID. I'm going to create the endpoints to get and save the data. So let's start with this. First thing what I'm going to do, I created a modules folder. Inside that I'm going to create the new module for users. So let's open the command prompt here, and it will be next generate module, say user module. Okay, user module created, and here we're going to create folder. Let's go to VS Code and create folder inside module, say controller. We also will create folder for services and schema. Okay, inside controller, let's create our first controller. Next, generate controller, user controller. Also, go to service folder and create service, user service. Back to VS Code, we have our user controller. Now here you can see we have the endpoint starting with users, and here we are going to create our get endpoint first. We'll use the decorator get. We're going to use a constructor here because we will use our service private user service, same like Angular. So if you know the Angular, it will be easier for you. User service. Okay. Now we can say this dot user service dot get users. Now go to here and create that function. For now, just simply return hi. Okay, so return from there, and we also return from here. Now we created this module, that is fine. Also, we should add this in our app module. So it will be user module. Okay, let's see what is the command we can run. Open package.json and start debug. Okay, let's run this one. Okay, the server is up and running. Let's go to Postman and try to hit the endpoint get users. Okay, cannot get 404. Okay, that is fine. User module, okay. Now we have created our module, that is fine, but in the module we do not have anything. You can see here we have to register all those things in the decorator. So we have created our controllers here. The controller, we have user controller, and we have the provider. Inside the provider we have user service. Okay, let this restart. Okay, now we can try to hit it again. We should get high or something. Okay, this is working. Now first endpoint is ready. Now just connect to Mongo database. Here you can click on this connect, and you will get this option, connect from your app. You'll have to just give this link correctly and you'll be able to connect. Let's go inside this database and collections. We have our this users. Okay, fine. Now try to connect to this database. To connect, what we'll do, we'll go to app module, and we have this db module. What we have done here is we use mongoose module here. Using for root, we pass the connection string, and this is our database. Simple templates, right? You can directly copy and paste this inside our app module as well here, but it is good practice always to correctly structure your application folders. So connection string is done. Now what we have to do in the module, user module, we will have imports, and inside these imports, what we have to provide is mongoose module dot for feature, and here what we will say, we will tell that okay, this is our this is the name of our schema. Okay, first before that we have to create our schema. Let's go to the schema folder and create the schema. User schema.ts. Let's check the convention by following here: schemas, module schema, not movie schema. So we will have user.schema.ts. Fine. Here again, get the schema here, and let's start our class user. Here we will going to have prop as property, and we have name, email, and password. So we'll get name as string. Okay, and we're going to copy the same email and password. Fine. We are going to export schema factory.create for class. What we will pass here? It will pass user. We have to export, and we are also going to export our type user document. Okay, this will be high iterated document user, and that is all from here. So our schema is ready. Now to use that, we will say that user schema dot name, and what is the schema? Let's change this to user schema. So we have imported mongoose module, and then using the for feature we pass the name of our model. This name we are going to use later, and we have also told the schema. So here we are going to need, inside the constructor we are going to need that details inject model. Inject model. What is the model? It is user dot name, as we have defined before. And now we'll say user model. What will the type? Type will be user document. Okay. Now simply we use this dot user model dot find. Let's limit this one to 20 or 30. Execute this. Return a promise. Value model. Okay. Now let's restart this, and we will try to get the data. Okay. Previously it was giving high. Now let's see, we're getting an error or we're getting the data. Okay, we're getting this data, right? Now we'll try to save this one. So get is done. We're going to use post endpoint to post the data, to save the data. So inside our controller, okay, let's create the let's go to our controller and create the endpoint. So user, it will be post. It will be add users, user. What we're going to do, we're going to call a function here, add user, that will be inside this service file. So let's define this add user. We're going to save it here. What we're going to save, we're going to save name as, let's say, user. Okay, what is the type? Type will be user as string, and email as string, password also as a string. Okay, this is going to save here. Okay, to get this data, we're going to call this from here. We need to pass the user object here, right? Here, say we're going to say name colon body dot name, and same email and password. Say email and password, right? This is an object, obviously. Now the question is, from where we're going to get the body? We will get it from here, body. And what will be there? It will have body, and what will be the type? It will be the same as our schema or the parameter the service is accepting, that is name, email, password, all string. Name, it will be name. Okay, we got this data. We got it here also. Now we need to save this into the database. So what we will do here, we will say new user, new this dot user model, and then we're going to pass the user object here. we have a new user, and now we can save this one, new user dot save, and we'll return this. Let's check this. Go to post endpoint here, create test 1 2 3 4, leave it like this, or give 1 2 3 4 test 1 2 3 4. Okay, whatever it is. Save this. Let's see, it seems created. Let's see whether we have this data or not in the database. Go to our database and find what's name as this. Apply. Okay, we have one record. That's good. Let's change this to anything. Try to save this and search with this. Okay, internal server error. We got the error something. Let's check what is the error. Duplicate key. Email is duplicate key. We have not added any validation as of now, so that's why it's giving any error. Let's try to save this one otherwise. Okay, now it got saved, and probably we'll get this one here. Okay, so we have done our get and post endpoint. So this is how we can do our connection string and can get and save the data into the Mongo database using the mongoose using nest. So that's it for now. Hope you have enjoyed this video. Leave your comment in the comment section. Thank you.